And welcome to Writer's Life, place you get the sights, sounds, smells, tastes of my particular writer's life, where I get the truth about the writer's life. Subscribe if you haven't already, punch the like button, tap the bell for notifications, and flex your muscles, because it's that kind of day. Go to vinzandri.com, pick up all the latest and greatest thrillers. White Wedding and the Squatters are like vying for first place. Hitchhiker's there. Her Darkest Secret. I don't know. I got so many new ones now, I'm forgetting. And Moonlake Gets Railroaded, sort of a shorter novella, really, is coming in a few days. I got to get it over to Wayne tomorrow or the next day, probably more like the next day. That'll be coming away soon. So, kind of boring day. Nothing much happening today, huh? Uncle Joe dropped out. We all saw it coming, right? Actually, I was like, Sundays at work, every day I take a nap, right? It's no secret. I've been doing it since graduate school. And before I took a nap, like Bitcoin was, we're having this God candle. Bitcoin and Ethereum, these God candles, like going upwards. I'm like, yeah, I knew it, because on Tuesday, Ethereum will be traded publicly. All right, just bear with me here. And then I woke up and there was, I'm like, all right, something happened. Well, in that half an hour where I was like, not exactly sleeping, but not exactly awake either. Like something went down. And sure enough, like on Twitter, like Biden's out officially. He made a statement. And it didn't say who he was endorsing. In fact, I've heard that he is not endorsing Kamala Harris. I don't know how that's going to play in political circles for the Dems. I can't imagine it'll be very good. I'm not, you don't come here for political news, obviously, but I can't imagine that's going to go down well. There's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of infighting, I would imagine. It all probably comes down to like who the donors want. So my guess is either going to be Hillary. See what I did there? Michelle or Gavin Newsom. I didn't make any of these names up. I'm just spouting them off because it's fun. I think Mr. Trump can beat them all. That's just my opinion. It doesn't. I'm not endorsing anybody, but I think he can beat them all. And I have a feeling that like the Chuck Schumers and all those evil, they do not want Kamala to run, because I think she polls even worse than Uncle Joe. So anyway, you go to another station and get all that stuff, because then you can get the true scoop. But one thing I do want to talk to you about, I was listening to a Rogan podcast, I think, the other day, on my walk/run /sprint. I do intervals now. Did you know that? Instead of just going out for just a gentle jog, 2-mile jog, I switched it up to like walk, sprint, walk, jog, walk, sprint, like 200 yards. Boom, boom, boom. And I think it's better for me. I can feel my lungs expanding. I can feel my heart rate rising a lot more. I think it switches things up a little bit. You can work out every day, but if you do the same exact thing working out every day, your body just gets used to it, and you need to shock the system. It's the same thing when I lift free weights. Like, you can't just keep doing the same routine all the time. Your muscles won't grow anymore or anything. Your body just gets used to it. You got to shock it, with a lot heavier weight or new routines, things like that. Where was I? Oh, yes. So, speaking of routines, Rogan was talking about like golf professionals, like professional golfers, for instance, and they, the best of the best. This goes for like skiers, professional skiers and football players, basketball players, anybody who plays sports on a professional level like that. They're the best at what they do. Number one, because they're born with the talent. Number two, they're physically inclined to participate on a professional level. I'm too small, so I would never be able to be, at least pro football or something like that. You would need two Vinces put me together, even though I'm stacked. All right, I'll stop that. You need all that stuff. Then you need like desire and just focus on being the best you can be. And that takes practice every day. So, like, for instance, the best golfers, on average, they practice 8 hours a day. Now, I would get sick of doing it 8 hours a day. You would think, any kind of recreational sport, 8 hours a day. I would get sick of fishing 8 hours a day. I would get sick of skiing if I had to do it 8 hours a day. But that's how, and the reason they do this is because they get into a groove. They call it a groove. Reminds me of playing drums. You get into. Now I can do that for an hour, and I'm in a groove. That's why I write every day. Why I never miss, unless I'm traveling or adventuring. And even then, I usually get in at least a few pages. Because I don't want to get out of the groove. Now, I don't understand how some writers I write when the muse hits me, when the muse calls, because to me it would be like having to start up again, all over. And if you're already in the groove, you're just taking time off to rest your head, your body, feed, eat, drink something, and sleep. And then you wake up and you're ready to get back in the groove that you've only left temporarily, just for, relatively speaking, for minutes. So that explains it, really. It just hit me. I'm like, yeah, I'm really doing what the professional tennis players do. When they're not competing, they're playing tennis every day. When a professional quarterback isn't competing on Sunday or Monday, he's throwing the football every day. Same with a baseball player. That's just, in order to be the best, you have to be doing it every day, all day. And to me, this doesn't get old. So that's how you know you've chosen the right sport. It doesn't get old. If anything, you're becoming even more competitive and more critical with yourself. You're becoming better, but the better you become, the more critical you're becoming at the same time. See how that works? That's the way it should work. And that's why I'm able to put out so much work so fast. I've just trained myself to be able to, put out a 60,000 word novel in a month, and do it well, and learn how to cycle and or edit as I go. The book I was just talking about that's coming out very quickly, Moonlight Gets Railroaded. I looked at the date that I wrote that, and I started it in mid-August last year. I get a lot of books like that are like a year, 2 years old. It's amazing how fast time flies, because I'm like, I got to get that out there, because it's not doing me any good sitting on my hard drive, right? So, but in the meantime, I'm always writing new material. After all, more books, more money. Although today, I don't know what the hell's going on, but the bean counter, at least at the Zon, has stalled. I've seen that happen before, and then the next morning it makes up for it. Or everybody's off on vacation and they're driving today or something. I don't know what, but it's one of those days. An okay month though. Okay, look out for Max Gator's on sale right now across all platforms. Today is the last day um, of it being in Kindle Unlimited. In fact, it might already be out the 21st. And so I'm currently going wide with it. So you'll be able to get it now on Kobo, Barnes and Noble, Apple, Google Books, and everything, everywhere, all over the world. So that is currently happening as I speak. And by tomorrow, most of those stores will be wide open for you. It's currently 99 cents because there's a book club that begins on the 25th. What day is that? That's Thursday, right? And then I'm stacking it. So like there's the book club first day, and then there's like a bargain booksy the next day, and then for like 5 straight days. So it should be a very cool promo. And it'll run through next Sunday. So it'll run through 2 weeks from today. Does that make sense? What is 2 weeks from today? We got to be into August already, right? Holy crap, summer's flying. So that's all I got for you. I'm interested to see how this plays out, the political thing. It's gonna be the Wild West for the next month or two. I don't know. Things can't get any worse. We got assassination attempts, invasion at the border. Just everything's a mess. Everything I've never seen. Listen, I was born in '64. I don't remember. About the only thing I remember of the '60s was my sister spinning some Beatle records. Yeah, I was into the Beatles even back then. And I remember just little snippets of things back in the '60s because I was 6 when 1970 came around. But I do remember seeing Abbey Road in the record store windows for sale, brand new. That's how old I am. Boggles the mind. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't remember when Johnson went on the air and said he wasn't going to seek re-election anymore. I don't remember that, but I remember it was like a huge deal, very huge deal. Kind of set the stage for Nixon to take over for the next 6.5 years until the military-industrial complex, along with some other swamp creatures, forced him out. He wasn't perfect, but it was more or less a coup. All right, before I get in trouble, I gotta cut this off. I hope everybody's having a great weekend and great remainder of the weekend. And I will try to come to you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. Gonna try to get Troy on this week. He is busier than you know what. But I want to get him on for his monthly state of the writing life. And I want to talk to him about advances. All right, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, ciao, ciao.